Well, hello, Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Indy 500 fans. I am sitting here with our 2016 Indianapolis 500 winner, Alexander Rossi. Alex, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
It seems just like yesterday to me that you were pulling in victory lane for your first Indianapolis 500, and this year will be number 10, an attempt to pick up number 2. Does it seem like that's just yesterday to you, or does it seem like it is a decade ago?
I wish it was yesterday, because that would mean I won again. It doesn't seem like a decade. That's concerning how old I'm getting. But it's amazing how quickly the time goes by, and it's also a very stark realization that your opportunities at this thing, they're limited, right?
So you're right. Those are limited, and you did say you feel like you're getting older, but do you feel like you're better when you come to the Speedway now? 2016, you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And what I've seen over the last 10 years with you is you're always fast there. You seem more intense and more focused there than you've ever been. Do you think you come in this year with a lot more tools and a lot better opportunity than you have ever had?
I think certainly every year that you come back, you're more equipped to win. But in the same respect, it's not like any other race where experience really, it matters, but it's not the difference maker. You know, we saw that in 2016,
right,
where I probably wasn't the car / driver that should have won that race, and we did. We talk often about like how the Speedway chooses the winner. That is reality. You know, it's such a unique race. There's so many different variables that can happen. What I can do as a driver is just make sure that throughout the month, you know, we're quick and that we build a good package for race day. And then you just have to kind of hope that throughout the 200 laps that you're in the correct position at the right time to get the win. And it's a hard one to predict. It's impossible to predict, but that's what makes it's so magical when you can pull it off.
So most of your races you finish in the top 10. When you run at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you've had a couple fifths, including last year. How difficult is it to watch that front, those few cars that you just can't catch there at the end of the Indy 500? At what point do you start thinking, oh man, I'm not going to get there. I got to wait till next year?
Not until the end. You know, you don't ever quit at that race, because we've seen so many examples of how it can come down to the last corner on the last lap. And it's a race where if you're in the top 8, I think you have a shot, kind of regardless of how it's shaking out. You know, over the past couple of years, it's gotten slightly harder the further back that you are, but it doesn't mean that you're not without an opportunity. And so for me, my goal is in the last pit stop cycle sequence to make sure that I'm in the top 5. And, you know, most of the time we're able to do that, but yes, certainly closing it out in the last 30 laps is a whole nother challenge.
Absolutely. So last year we had that red flag and you're sitting there a lap to go. Strategy-wise, are you able to kind of think about what you want to do? Or when you're sitting where you were at that point, are you like, okay, I need to see what the guys in front of me are going to do first, and then I'm going to almost react to get to the front?
You know, it really all stems from how good, in that situation, like how good your restart is. So all of your focus is making sure that, you know, you can get some sort of jump. And then for me, it's just you go where there isn't cars and you try and make an opportunity out of, you know, the space that you have. Unfortunately, last year, like, my restart was pretty average, so I didn't really have much of a chance to attack going into turn 1. So that was unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, in those situations, you kind of have to just take what's given to you. But certainly in the last lap, really any window of space, you're going to go for it and try and make something happen.
So you spent 8 years with Andretti Autosport. Last year you switched teams. First year, kind of everybody getting to know each other. Is there value to having a year under your belt with McLaren as you come into this year and to the Indianapolis 500?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think that last year there was a huge amount of growth within the organization. I was getting to know a whole new group of people, a new manufacturer. You know, I, as you said, been with one group for my entire IndyCar career, so it was certainly an adjustment. So there was a lot of things that we were seeing for the first time, even though it was my 9th Indy 500, like there was still a lot of firsts. And so coming back to this year and it just being a much more cohesive unit, there's less kind of chaos getting to the first race of the year with finding people and placing people. You know, I think we're going to be in a much better place come May, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage. You know, we weren't bad by any means throughout the month of May, but certainly you don't go there to finish 5th.
Right. Big off season for you. You've gotten married a few months ago. How's all of that going?
It's the same, man. Like, they don't lie when they say that nothing changes when you get married. But no, I mean, it's great. Kelly and I have been together for 7 years now.
Yep.
So it was long overdue, especially in her mind. So it was a fantastic weekend in New York, and a really nice way to start the off season.
It's fantastic. Space, this is going to air right before our Total Eclipse event at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You're into aviation and flying. Does that also translate a little bit into an interest in the space side of things?
I mean, I feel like everyone is at least curious about space. Certainly me being into cars and airplanes, that's probably taken a step further. So it's going to be a very cool event to see, considering the last one was over 800 years ago, right? And the fact that, the path is right through Indianapolis, and what better place than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to kind of watch something that occurs every couple hundred years.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to that. So last question for you. This is more of a fun one. Other than getting married, favorite thing you did in the off season?
My bachelor party. So related to being married. Slash then the honeymoon. So bachelor party, we went to Colombia, which was unique.
Yep.
And then went to Bali after we got married, which was also very cool.
That sounds like a good way to spend the off season.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 2016 Indianapolis 500 winner. He will be competing for the 10th time this year at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the Indy 500, trying to beat just a handful of people who've won the Indy 500 2 times.